United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's do a quick roll call. Dr. Tuttle, Dr. Bishop is here, Trustee Klepp is here, Trustee Cott is here, Trustee Hall is here, I'm here, I'm Colleen Worden. Trustee St. John's here, and I know that Trustee Derringer is coming, but he might be running a few minutes late. Okay, thank you to everyone for coming early for this special board meeting. I'm going to let Dr. Tuttle start this off by showing us a few things, or telling us a few things about what this agenda item is about.
Do you want to approve the agenda?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Let's approve. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting agenda for March 18, 2025?
Motion to approve the agenda for March 18th, 2025.
Is there support?
Support.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving the agenda for the special meeting agenda for March 18, 2025, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it carries 6-0.
Okay, thank you. I come tonight. Oh, what's 5 of us?
Oh, we're missing. Oh, I'm sorry. We're also missing Trustee Jeup. Is she coming?
I've not heard either way. So I come to you this evening with a recommendation for a CFO, which I'm delighted to bring to you, Deanne Irby. So just to give you a little background regarding this, Deanne interviewed in the first round where we had 4 candidates. She did very well in that round, but there was a concern regarding her stability because she has a lot of movement in her contract or in her CV. And so we continue to keep the posting open, but I continue to kind of come back to her. She's worked in this district before. As you can see on her CV, up until 2021, she's worked in districts, school districts, municipalities, has several certifications. And so I reached out to her to see if she'd be interested in talking some more. She indicated that she'd actually been offered another district position. As I said, CFOs are being sought after, highly sought after in all the school districts. But she did come in and speak with me, and I talked with her, Dr. Bishop, and CFO Freyer at the time. We interviewed her actually virtually, and then subsequent to that, I asked President Worden if she and Treasurer Klepp wanted to come in and meet with her, which we did. Was that earlier this week? Was that last week?
It was last Thursday.
Okay, last Thursday. She is currently on vacation. That's why she's not here today, and she intended to hopefully start on March 31st. We have spring break next week. So I bring to you I'm excited about her experience. I'm excited about her knowledge of the district. I think that is a huge advantage. She lives in St. Clair Shores, so she's aware of the area. She'll be available for meetings, of which we have quite a few. And I checked all of her references. I know that President Worden checked some. I'm not sure if Treasurer Klepp did. President Worden might want to talk about that, or either of you. But the references that I checked all came out glowing. I asked every one of them, would you hire her back if the opportunity arose? They all said yes. Garden City, in fact, was very sad to see her leave, but said she had done a tremendous job. That's the city of Garden City, not the school district, in her short period of time there. So I bring both her CV for your perusal, as well as the contract that was offered in the negotiation session, which she has verbally accepted if pending board approval. So that's what brings us to this point today. I don't know if anyone wants to add anything.
I just had a question about the merit pay. Since one of our concerns is the moving around a lot in the CD, which I know you addressed personally with her, but we also have talked about some of the financial oversight being a concern with moving, having all these moving parts in central office. Should we have the merit pay portion of the contract maybe like a retention bonus?
I think there.
It says to be awarded in June, which would be just a couple months. Maybe we could push it to after completion of the audit or something like that.
Yeah, I'm willing to look into that. Yeah, so she's here for a little bit longer. That question did come up in all of our interviews, and she indicated that she intended to stay 3 to 5 years, which you'd love to hear 20 years. That's just not the way the world works anymore. So if we can get someone great for 3 to 5 years, then that can be accurate and provide. So I'll look at that if you want to make that motion to accept pending.
Yeah, so I would move to amend the contract to have the merit pay be a retention bonus rather than single merit pay.
Is there support for that motion?
I would support that.
Is there any discussion about that amendment?
Is this still prorated?
What would be the term, like how long would it be after a year? What would be considered
I would
retention?
suggest that upon completion of the audit, because then we at least will know we have a CFO through the audit, which is hard, and then, nice to get some extra money after the audit season, I'm sure.
Well, I would ask, are we meeting now as opposed to in a couple weeks for a reason to somehow get her to start here? Is there a time is of the essence?
Oh,
issue?
yes, I'm sorry, yes.
A little bit.
We are, because time is of the essence for a couple of reasons. One, I was hoping to have someone at the beginning of March. Obviously, that didn't come to fruition. Secondly, CFO Freyer, and thank you for bringing this up too, because CFO Freyer is willing to stay on, but with 696 closed, her drive has become not fun, and so I think she's ready to kind of be done. She's working here 1 day a week and then virtually the other 4 days. But the sooner that we can get a new CFO, and since we don't have a meeting till March 31st, I'd like her to start March 31st, so on that date with us. So also, if this board decides not to, she does have an offer from another district. So in fairness to her, we wanted to be able to extend an offer.
The one thing about merit pay, I think it's important to recognize in there, I think it's paragraph 5 or 6, where it talks about the merit pay is actually prorated, so it's not actually the whole lump sum of what's in the contract. Depending on when she starts, it would then be prorated from there. So, but if we want to do something differently, but I just wanted to make sure all the board have the same clarification on the payment of what it would be. It wouldn't be what it says in the actual contract. It would be prorated.
I mean, my fear would just be if she's accepted this, what if we come back and she says, well, no? I mean, can
And she
we
may
also
not.
give Dr. Tuttle authority to then settle on this if she doesn't accept that? If this time of the essence is an issue. I don't want to lose a CFO when we have a CFO in front of us.
So what we're looking at is really a small amount of that 5,000, because is it an entire year? So it's really 3 months of a year, so it's like a quarter of that.
Yeah, go ahead to Jim.
Big difference in June.
Okay.
So Dr. Bishop, so that would only mean that she would get a portion of this and then it wouldn't start again until the following June?
Correct, yes, she would get a portion of it, so let's say the amount was $700, right? She would get that potentially for these 3 months, and then for the following year in June, that's when she would get the
Just like
merit
her
pay for
salary.
working the whole year.
Yep.
$1,250, but when would we evaluate them and then decide if effective or not effective? Because it's not as much
I
a dollar
typically-
amount to me, but.
Yeah, I
evaluation.
typically do evaluations of administrators. Well, I'm starting them now for the ones that are currently here, but for her sake, I probably would do it just prior to the closeout of June, so that she's then on the same cycle as everybody else, but
That would be my concern too, it's just such a short amount of time to try to evaluate someone and put that on you another day.
but we have to, by law, I have to submit an evaluation, so it would be short and sweet from the information that I have. So.
Yeah, given the prorated amount and, that we would have to have a plan to evaluate her on 3 months of, 2.5 months of performance, I wouldn't edit the contract. I would vote against amending it specifically. I agree with what Trustee Cotton said. It's a time of the essence thing. This has been accepted and we're haggling over $1,250.
Is there any other discussion about the amendment? Okay.
Yeah, we can vote it down, it's fine.
Okay. All those in favor of the amendment, say aye. Let's do a roll call. Trustee Derringer?
No.
Trustee St. John?
Yes.
I'm Trustee Worden, and I'm a yes. Trustee Jeup?
I'm gonna pass just because I just want to.
Well, unfortunately, you're not allowed to pass unless there's a conflict of interest. So do you want a couple minutes to hear what we had? I mean, I
Yeah,
guess.
sure.
Go ahead.
So I'll just repeat what I said, because if you have the contract in the pink folder there, there's a merit pay in June as part of the contract, and I suggested that since one of our big problems seems to be the movement in central administration, and it's making it hard to keep things consistent, that offering a retention bonus might be to our benefit. So that I was just moving to have it be a retention bonus possibly at the end of the audit season, rather than merit pay in June, which would only be after a couple months.
But the merit pay is prorated, so it would just be a portion of the merit pay for the 3 months, I should say.
I mean,
I'm sorry,
yes.
okay. Trustee Hall,
Yes is in support of
of the
Val's.
amendment, yes.
Okay. I say no.
I'm a no.
Okay, so the amendment is not passed, so what did you vote? I voted yes. Okay. Okay, so now we are back to just the regular contract. Is there any more discussion about that?
I have two questions, and just things I don't understand, and would want some clarification on. So for term number 11, the second sentence in that clause, this contract shall automatically extend for an additional year, creating a new 2-year contract.
So what happens is it's like an evergreen contract for 2
Yeah.
years unless that there's if for some reason it doesn't work out after the first year, the district
Okay.
can choose.
So it becomes a 2-year contract because you're adding an additional year on top. Got it. That explains it.
And that's what our other administrators all
Yeah,
have.
this is the exact same.
Yeah, I'm sure it's boilerplate, I just didn't understand it. And then the non-renewal, again, I assume that's boilerplate, we were just talking about renewal, and then it says contracts are subject to non-renewal in accordance with the provisions of the MRC. What is, is there a gist of what the MRC says?
Well, arbitrary and capricious.
Arbitrary.
Sorry. Yeah. I mean, we have to file a law for a non-renewal, but we typically, for a non-renewal, you put someone on IDP, which is an individual development plan and so forth, and then we would
Okay.
file that.
That's good. I didn't have any further questions.
Okay, I have a question, Dr. Tuttle. I just want to make sure that we are clear about this. I know you've met with her on multiple occasions and you've had conversations with her on the phone. You've talked to a lot of references. Do you feel satisfied with her qualifications, knowing that we have multiple budget concerns before us?
Well, candidly, obviously I haven't worked with her before, so I do look at the references. As I anticipated, all came in glowing, and that's why I asked CFO Freyer, who has the knowledge of CFO skills. I kind of look at the person, and I talk about the relationship piece with me, how correspondence would go, her knowledge base. But CFO Freyer, her quote was, she's a plug and play. She knows what she's doing, she can go in. See, she has asked, Ms. Irby has asked for a month to 2 months with CFO Freyer. CFO Freyer says she's not going to want a month to 2 months once we start working. She sees her being able to take off in 3 to 4 weeks. But CFO Freyer did say she would always be available to assist with the audit, to assist as needed, but she just doesn't want to continue to do the drive here.
And when you
So I just want to be really clear, because you asked me a specific question. I am not a CFO. I think I made that clear in my interview. So I think she's very capable, and what I've been told by experts is that she is very capable. So I think she's capable. Until we've seen her in action, it's hard to judge that from a school district perspective.
Okay, but the people that you've spoken to, you feel confident that her skill set is?
They feel confident, and therefore I feel confident, yes. You want to speak to that about?
No, I think her expertise, at least within the finance world, would definitely help us out.
And her knowledge of the district
And knowledge of the district.
is huge. She knows many of the players in the game.
The other question I have for you is she aware that we have some budget challenges before us?
Very aware of that.
It
We
would
made that very clear to her in the interview that you're not walking into a perfect situation. There's going to need to be some cleanup, some oversight, which is one of the things I really liked about her, that she's very good at oversight to the point that some people push back on that a little bit, but she's black and white, which you need your CFO to be. You need them to be accurate, follow the laws, the GASB, everything, and I feel that she's very committed to that.
We even went as far as, letting her know, because she did work before with us within our district, that the district she left, when she came back potentially in this role, it wouldn't look different. So she knows that even, her previous experience here is going to look different moving forward because of our budgetary constraints.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions?
I have 2 questions. In section 5, the second to last sentence says more fully describing the attached salary and fringe benefit supplement. Is that available with the CBA, maybe on our site, or was it, did I miss an attachment?
I don't think we did include that. There is a whole attachment for the administrator I can send, but it would be consistent with all other administrators.
I would, just for reference, it's not going to affect this conversation and this vote, but I would like to know
Sure.
since, it's written right here. And then number 7, tax shelter annuity, is that quantified in some way? Can you guys explain this to me?
I'm sorry, what number are you talking, 7?
Number 7?
Oh, okay. Dr. Bishop just clarified that's on the other document as well, so I just need to give you that document.
Okay, is it in addition to the salary, or is the salary listed?
It's an addition.
Okay, so it's all explained in that other.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone else have any other questions or comments?
My only comment is, as you know, she hasn't been a CFO role before. And so I think it will take, it's gonna take some collective work to help her come along, not just a transition to Shelby, but just the elements of, as opposed to being a senior manager and running an accounting shop and really being the person who's sitting at the board table trying to explain to the board and the public. Those would be development areas for her, but she seems to have strong technical knowledge in that space.
Is there anything you wanted to add? Speaking of the
The references that she provided seemed to say that she had a good skill set.
I'm excited to have a permanent CFO. I'm excited to have someone come to the meetings, and it's been a tough go. It's been a little bit exhausting and trying to keep everything afloat. And CFO Freya's done a great job, but to have a permanent person here all the day, the team needs that, the business team needs that. Speak highly of CFO Freya in her short time. I think she's changed the culture of the team very positively as well. And she wants our team members to grow. She sent them to MSPO trainings, and I would hope that Ms. Ruby would continue that as well.
She could attend all meetings. She's committed to that.
She did one caveat. Her son is hoping to get into the NFL draft. So if he plays on a Monday night football game and she wants to go to that, I said perhaps we could all go. I was just kidding.
You have to be there.
But that was it. So she said I just want to be up front. So
We asked her that specifically because I know there were issues with our with other people that we've had at the board table not being able to go to their meetings. So I asked her that specifically. I did appreciate her honesty when she said that about the NFL draft. Okay, anyone else have any questions or comments? All right, do I have a motion?
I'll move to approve the contract for new CFO.
Support. Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor of approving CFO that Dr. Tuttle has recommended, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, carries 7-0.
thank you. We both say thank you. We're excited to get to work with her.
We do have MASB training, but I wonder if we should do public comment first. Does anyone have an issue with
Public comments on the CFO contract, I assume, for the special meeting?
Well, we only have one set of public comment. We technically have 2 meetings tonight.
Do you want to adjourn this one and then start?
Yeah, let's adjourn this one and then we'll start over.
Do you want to do public comments?
Public comments. Does anyone have any public comments tonight?
I just had a question, the name of the candidate.
Oh, Deanne Irby. That's
Deanne
Deeann, 2 separate words, and Irby is IRBY.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.